And now I'd like to introduce you to the last of my easy to use social media tools that will help you brand yourself and make your tweets and other social media efforts last longer. This is Twylah, and it will actually work just with Twitter, and in this case it's going to improve the longevity of your tweets. It's currently, at the time I'm making this video, in beta, but you can sign up to be considered for an invite, and as far as I know you'll get one. You just have to click on this blue request invite button. I did it, and a couple of days later I got my account. Once you've got it, it's extremely easy to set up. You just connect it to your Twitter account, and then you go to your My Twylah, and it will have built a page out of all the things that you tweet about and all the things that you retweet. And if anybody were to come to see your page, do you notice how it says follow Lizzie Jam on Twitter? So it encourages people to follow you too. I like the way it pulls out images from the post that I've tweeted, so it makes the thing look very attractive. It makes it look like more than Twitter really, doesn't it? And it takes all the words that I use most and puts them along the menu. And any more topics that I use less, it happens along here. Now, for example, dog and Ruby. Ruby's my mum. Now it says here in the menu that I can manage topics, and I can either pin a topic so that it always appears in the top 3 position on my Twylah, or I can hide topics. So for example, I don't want this thing about Chris happening here. I'm not really sure what that's about, so I'll put that there. And sound, maybe, don't know what that's about. To some extent I can fine tune what happens on my Twylah page. So if I go back to my Twylah, this is a really amazing thing because you just set it up and leave it. I mean, I set this up a couple of months ago and I haven't done a thing with it. Now, I need to be a little bit more vigilant about how I'm tweeting and what I'm retweeting, but it's a kind of branding page for you, or at least for the account from which you tweet. So if it's a personal account like mine is, where I tweet mostly about work, but the occasional personal thing, then it sums up what I'm doing and what I'm about. Whereas if you're tweeting from a company account, then it won't have too much personal stuff on it. So it should make sense for whatever type of account you're running. Now the last thing to say about it, because it is very simple, is that you can send a power tweet. I just must say there's going to be a lot of snoring in this part of the video because all 3 dogs are in the office with me now. I couldn't keep them out any longer. To send a power tweet, you just click here and then you think of something to tweet. Now I'm going to tweet a blog post from somebody else's blog on a topic that I've written quite a lot about, which is rel equals author. So I'm going to say another take on rel equals author, just for something to say, and then put the URL to this other person's WordPress post. Now when I send the power tweet, it's not going to link to that person's WordPress post. It's going to create a tweet which will appear in my Twitter stream, but please note that it will not link through to his post. So watch this. I'm sending the tweet, the power tweet. The tweet's been sent, and now if I go to my Hootsuite where I can watch my tweets come in, I can just do a refresh here, and here's the new tweet, another take on rel equals author. Now here's the link, which ordinarily would have gone to whichever link that I'd actually put in my tweet, but this is actually a Twylah link which was going to take me back to my Twylah page. So that's where you'll be bringing people when you do Twylah power tweets. And if you look at what's happened, it's put a snapshot of this other person's blog post on my Twylah page, which is really nice. Now it links back to his page, which is fair enough, but it pulls all my related tweets. This could have been my post or someone else's, it doesn't matter. The point is I'm making this a bit richer. This is a bit like me having done a retweet of somebody's post on my power tweet. It pulls everything that I've written to do with authorship markup, so you can see a sort of cohesive story here about rel equals author and authorship markup. So that's what's powerful about a power tweet. It means that when you tweet the thing on the power tweet, it will send people back to a bunch of your tweets and retweets that make sense together. And what's great about that is it can reach into the past to get them. So people see things in a huge amount of Twitter context, and that's really, really good. Not only will that create you loads of backlinks, but it will make your stuff in Twitter a lot more meaningful and readable. I think that's great, and of course it's got this thing to encourage people who find it to follow me.